Well, Jeremy Alexander Alvarez Leon preparing for his first bout of Kielce 2021, having received a bye in the first preliminary round of 32. As for Diaz MOLZHIGITOV, the Kazakh boxer preparing for his second contest, didn't hang around in his opening bout, prevailing RSC round 2 to eliminate the man from Moldova. Radoslav Simon of Slovakia is the referee.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. 75kg middleweight action in the round of 16 of the men's middleweight tournament. 29 boxers started in this division. The man who just landed a hard right hand to the body wearing blue is Diaz MOLZHIGITOV. MOLZHIGITOV, 18 years of age, comes to the ring as the 2020 National Youth Champion of Kazakhstan. A tall southpaw wearing red. He's 17 years old. That is Venezuela's John Alvarez. Alvarez looking to get onto the front foot and score with that double southpaw jab left cross. MOLZHIGITOV, a heavy-handed individual, can really apply pressure when he gets his man going. So switch hitting in evidence from Alvarez. Oh, and there's a right hand which lands on a downward trajectory, followed by a left hook from MOLZHIGITOV, finding the range immediately. Both boxers looking to load up with their rear hands. Nice evasive maneuvers in the pocket from Alvarez, but the subsequent attempted counter was off the mark. Swing and a miss with the right hand as he aimed for the body. Right hand over the top, got a little closer, but look at that stinging left jab, snapped out by MOLZHIGITOV. Jolting left jab lands once again as Alvarez looking for that right hand. So looking to counter is Alvarez. Those shots not on target, even though they landed. Really did commit to that backhand, Alvarez. Takes another jab once again, and MOLZHIGITOV has used that shot effectively before he lands a solid right cross, which backs up the man in red. But he didn't lose his boxing stance or his composure, Alvarez. Walks into another left jab, which pushes his head backwards. Then a check left hand by MOLZHIGITOV. Onto his toes. Counter right hand is an effective shot. Terrific punch picking from the man in blue during this closing portion of the opening round. Alvarez switching to southpaw once again. Tries a right hand down to the body, takes another right hand as he was switching back to orthodox. Left jab once more, twice, an exchange is, well, almost an exchange after the bell. A very good round of boxing from Diaz MOLZHIGITOV to open proceedings here in the 75kg middleweight division. So some of the action from that opening round, and remember, Aiba's interpretation of the 10-point must system, 10-9 for a close round, 10-8 for a clear winner, 10-7 for total domination. So putting your boxer on the floor, your opponent on the floor, won't necessarily result in a 10-8 round. And if a boxer remains on their feet, it can often be scored 10-8 if one boxer is clearly superior.
Seconds out, please. Round 3. Round 2.
It is indeed round 2. 3 minutes in the book. What can Alvarez do differently? He's demonstrated that he's comfortable boxing out of either stance, but whichever stance he adopted, orthodox that he's currently is now, or southpaw, that's the punch that was troubling him. The lead left hand as he lands a good shot of his own, Alvarez, perhaps is the best shot of the entire contest, looking to measure his man and fire through a straight right cross, while as an orthodox boxer. But whether he was orthodox or southpaw, MOLZHIGITOV's jab was an effective shot. And given the comparative statures of the two men, as Alvarez turns a right bolo shot underneath, which wasn't too far away, but he's telegraphing that right hand, and that could be open for a counter. He takes another jab, a double left hand lands by MOLZHIGITOV. Right hand comes through and turns his head once again. So Alvarez, credit to him, trying to get onto the front foot, but I'm not quite sure how much attention he's paying to defense, and he's running into punches repeatedly on a chin that is wide open. Cluster of shots, 3-shot combination landed by MOLZHIGITOV. So he's certainly plenty tough, is Alvarez, but this isn't a tough man contest as he takes another double right cross. He lands a right cross of his own, best shot of the round for the man in red. But he's being out-punched and outscored here as he takes another left hand. Dropping down to the body with the right hand, and look at that, just penetrating the wide-held hands of Alvarez once again. He hasn't been able to employ head movements. His reflexes not quick enough to evade the punches if that's what he's trying to do by adopting this posture, because with his hands down by his belt line and standing in the pocket, he just takes another left jab square on the nose. Well, that's hitting after the commander's stop from Alvarez. AIBA referees will base their communication as he takes another left jab, Alvarez, and a stiff right hand. He lands a good left hand to the body twice. Stop, box, break, and time. They're the 4 commands around which AIBA referees will communicate with the boxers. And again, right hand success dips the knees of the man in red. Just a few moments prior to that, a left jab was scored by MOLZHIGITOV. And Alvarez, well, he's being driven backwards here. His head's being put on a swivel a little bit by the fact that the punches are coming from both flanks. It's hitting on the break again. Well, who's guilty there? Maybe 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but Alvarez certainly launched a straight shot after the command of stop. Right hand to the body landed by MOLZHIGITOV. And Alvarez perhaps just slowing down a little bit in the closing portion of that second round. And that is because he is being pinged repeatedly by straight punches from Diaz MOLZHIGITOV. The scorecards through 2 completed rounds of boxing. The man in red is going to have it all to do as we prepare to go into the 3rd and final round. So Alvarez with some success in terms of getting punches through, but invariably he's been put on the end of a lead left hand from MOLZHIGITOV. Hasn't been able to avoid it. And he was hit far more than he was able to hit MOLZHIGITOV. As evidenced there, punches without reply. There was a good double left hand to the body from the man in red, but that was a terrific combination and a nod of acknowledgement from Alvarez. But again, you don't want to be taking too many of those. So what can this man do differently? How can he adapt as we go into the 3rd and final round? But the usual service has been resumed in the first action of the 3rd. He ran into a left jab. Same shot once again, catching the man as he's loading up, going for a Hollywood left uppercut. Well, his chin's up in the air like a weather vane, Alvarez, and he's been tagged repeatedly by the man in blue. He's kept his shape, Plenty of commitment, but look at that. 4 shots without reply, make it 5 with the check left hand. And the Alvarez, the aggression of Alvarez is proving to be ineffective. Better left jab, time after time after time. And he simply hasn't been able to make any adjustment. The man from Venezuela. So a minute's gone of this third and final round, around where he needs a big third round. And for my money, well, this portion of the round has gone against him. Now, of course, we're in the 75kg middleweight division. These boys can bang. So he always does have the opportunity to turn it around as he gets tagged by a clean left hand. That causes him to take a few backward steps. He's put on the end of another left jab. And the manner in which his head is being snapped left and right, well, that will drain your resources rapidly. Left jab success once again from MOLZHIGITOV, who's given the impression that he's boxing within himself here. But in many respects, Alvarez is just presenting an open target. And look at how his work rate has slowed here. He's in pursuit of a big final round, but he's not able to launch the offensive salvos that he needs because he's being picked off repeatedly by the accurate punches of the man in blue. Runs into a left jab once again, a left-right combination. And remember, this is global international competition. But Alvarez being made a distant second best here in this, his opening bout of Kielce 2021. Hard left hand dug in. He scores with the right hand over the top, but takes one in return. And again, his energy meter just draining before our very eyes. His punches becoming fewer and fewer. And when he does launch them, they're slower and easy to read. And you've got to credit this man's toughness because he has taken an awful lot this evening. But he's staying in there. He's certainly game, but he has been outgunned. MOLZHIGITOV has set up everything off his lead left hand. And again, look at that. A standing count can be issued for me, and not before time, in my opinion, because the shots are having an increasingly pronounced effect. Very tough man indeed is Alvarez. But he's been outboxed comprehensively there by Diaz MOLZHIGITOV. Very good display indeed by the 2020 National Youth Champion of Kazakhstan. And as the round went on, the punches were just having more and more of an effect. And Alvarez's punches becoming slower and slower and more readable as a result. It's Diaz MOLZHIGITOV who goes through to the quarterfinal stage. And that distress signal is what brought about the standing count.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous decision is the boxer from the blue corner, Diaz MOLZHIGITOV, Kazakhstan.
So a unanimous points decision victory for Diaz MOLZHIGITOV. He goes through to the quarterfinal stage of the men's 75kg middleweight division. As for Alvarez from Venezuela, outboxed comprehensively. Terrific use of the left hand from MOLZHIGITOV of Kazakhstan. He goes through. Alvarez will have to regroup and come again. He's a tough individual. I think he and his coaches will be working on the defensive